Hi parents, I hope you all are doing really well. Today I have came up with one of the very interesting topics, that is how to make your kids study. I know I have done one of the videos before, but I think I got a couple of questions on that. Basically, what I meant by teaching your kids and why you have to teach your kids was spending time with your kids. Basically, we what I have observed is, since the kid is a small toddler, you try to enact with them, you try to play pretend, you go to parks, you do everything until they're 5, maybe 7, you push it to 8, and then all of a sudden you just stay back and they just try to keep up with the world and you know kind of like independent. Like, I'm not saying all of that, but this is just of a general trait that I'm seeing. When it's a kid, you if you look at your cameras, your storage is always full. You have like 30 or 40 or sometimes 100 pics in the phone for that moment or for that period, and as you grow you can see the amount of photographs reduced. That's directly like how much time you spend with the kid. Now, in that reference, we are going to confine to the studies this time, that how to teach them and what to teach them. Now, when it comes to teaching kids, as I said, there was few tips I've discussed before, so I'm not going to touch base on that. I'm going to touch on the strategy level basically. So it is always very hard, especially in the world of an internet and mobiles and everything. A lot of vague entertainment, I should say. Sometimes we're okay to scroll our phone for longer and longer and longer period of time without even realizing what we are touching and what do we actually need to surf that thing, or do we actually need to get in it. But it's just become a habit. While surfing, we go to the snacks cupboard, bring out snacks, eat snacks, come out, and then started doing our regular chores. And then later, every night you realize, oh, I wish I should have spent more. I wish I must have done that. I wish. So this wish list is getting stronger. Sometimes we address them at the right time. Sometimes it takes little longer. So usually the parents complain about the addictions of phone in the kids. I believe that to an extent the adult generation is also getting closer to the addiction of a phone. Now, when it comes to teaching, and my main criteria of mentioning, we are really addicted to phone at the moment, and sometimes we don't even know what we are searching for. We have to break that first. Secondly, there are a lot of parents who always wanted to teach their kids. It needs a lot of resilience, it needs a lot of perseverance. They are very long and very important words when it comes to that. You go to office, you deal with the work schedules and everything, you have a lot of energy, you have a lot of resilience, you have a lot of you don't make excuses, you perform well. If you bring 10% of it at home when you're teaching your kids, things will be way more different than what you're perceiving at the moment. So what we have to do basically, sometimes kids really test your patience. I totally agree, because if you have not taught your kid for a long time and they know how to excuse it up, they may suck up all your energy. Initially it is very hard to be staying calm, composed and teach. If you're going to, but there is always a hope. If you start with 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 13 minutes, so if you start assuming that you're going to teach your kid 15 minutes, and 15 minutes is what you have to indulge in making them sit and study. So I know those were the hardest 15 minutes of the day. I know you were drained and everything, but just imagine that your boss has given you a task. At the end of the day, we earn to make our family living better, prosperous and healthy. This is a part of healthy parenthood. I'm including these conditions when you really want to teach the kids. It's not like it's mandatory that for every parent to teach. It's totally your choice. But when you're coming back and teaching your kids after few gap of some years, for probably if it's your favorite subject or something like that. I hear this very often, that usually teachers cannot teach their own kids. I don't agree to that, because it doesn't went well in my case. I teach my son, and in the areas I love and I expertise, I definitely take ownership for teaching my son. I take my time aside. But at the same time, there was a time when I put him in classes, not because I'm not able to teach, but because me and my husband is having a conflict that he needs to work it this way, and it's a way lot more stress for the son to go through that. So I just outsource it for that period of time. Once he's enough matured and get back to work, we are together again. So it's, you need to decide what suits you and your family environment the best. But the parents who really want to teach their kids after a gap, then just make sure you are teaching only 15 minutes. 15 minutes is to make that kid sit. That will happen only for 21 days. Once the kid is used to for that pattern, he should be fine. If you leave that pattern, within 10 days, kids know how to escape. So next time when you're going to make your kid sit, it will take probably half an hour to make him sit, and make him sit only. Forget about the studies. So only consistency despite of the minutes is important. It's a bit hard, but not impossible. It is a testing of your patience for you as well, especially the way these days the kids answer. It's something we don't like to hear. But at the end of the day, if it is, if you both respect each other, the results are beautiful. And I can assure you about that. Thank you. I hope you liked the video. Thank you so much. Wish you a very happy parent.